Hi guys, welcome to the fourth episode of Electric Mobility. We are here in sunny Munich again on the outskirts, and today we are lucky to have the 2 Series Active Tourer, BMW's latest high-performance model, which is the first plug-in hybrid vehicle that we are reviewing. So what's special about the Active Tourer hybrid is that it's got 2 powertrains. It's got the electric motor and it's got also a petrol engine. So this is sort of the entry to electric mobility. And it's a concept that gives you the best of both worlds, where you don't have to worry about range, but you can still drive electric. So if we have a look at the car, from the outside, it looks pretty much like a normal Active Tourer, you know, like you can hate it or love it. It's a car that BMW has built to appeal to families and people who need utility in their life. Space, you know, 4 seats. 5 seats and a lot of kind of everyday usability. So pretty standard, you know, BMW grille, BMW lights. What is different about this car is that you have, if we come a bit closer, you have a 3-cylinder petrol engine in the front from the Mini, which has, I think, around 150 horsepower. So it's the same engine that you have in the Mini Cooper, in the normal Mini Cooper, and also in the i8, but with less horsepower. So that's kind of conventional driving the front wheel. So that's BMW's UKL front wheel drive platform. What's special about this car is, if we have a look here, you see the eDrive badge. Very subtle, you know, that's one of the few differentiators, that the eDrive badge tells you this is a plug-in hybrid, this is so-called iPerformance. And what that means is that you have an electric motor on the rear axle, and the electric motor drives the rear wheels separately from the front wheels. So this is called the electrical X-drive, so electrical all-wheel drive. If you drive electrical only, the rear wheels are being pushed, traditional BMW rear-wheel drive, but if you press down the pedal hard, the front engine kicks in and gives you this all-wheel drive. So you have fantastic traction, a lot of acceleration, and you have kind of 2 cars in one. And for people, you know, I always say this is kind of the same as the i8, just reverse. So it's the i8 for the common man. If you say, I love the i8, but I just can't afford 120,000 euros, then this might be the car for you, because it suits your family and it's got the same powertrain. What's cool is it's got 224 horsepower. That's why BMW call it the 225xe, because it's actually quite quick. Acceleration from 0 to 100 is 6.7 seconds when you floor it. So that's actually a pretty rapid car. After 40 kilometers of electric driving, you have to recharge it, and that's what you have this flap for. Another very subtle differentiator here. You open the flap and there you stick in the charging cable, which is in the trunk. It's the same as the Tesla or the i3 or any other electric car that we've reviewed, the normal Type 2 socket, and it charges the car with 3.7 kilowatt, which means a charging time of around 2 hours. We can have a quick look in the trunk and then we'll take a test drive. Electrical, so you just press it once. You see, it's actually a pretty big boot, flat floor, flat entry, and you have additional space underneath here. This is the charging cable, which I need to see how to open it. Yeah, so this is the standard BMW charging cable. It's a bit bigger than the Tesla cable, and it charges the car with approximately 2.2 kilowatts. So that means a charging time of around 3.5 hours for this car. So we recommend to obviously charge it overnight or charge at a public charging station. So that's nice in the back. Put this back in. Got this additional space here where it doesn't fit in, okay? And the electric motor is underneath. And the cool thing in this car is that it's been engineered from the beginning to be a plug-in hybrid. So you lose no space. There's no battery, there's no additional sort of bulks. It's a flat space and you can turn down the seats. So that kind of gives you the full usability of this 2 Series Active Tourer. And I think now we should let you have a test drive and see how this car feels on the road. So we have here our test driver for the day, David Leffler, and he's gonna drive the car and tell us what he thinks. It's the first electric car you're driving, right?
First electric car in my life that I'm driving.
Are you excited?
I'm excited, let's go.
All right, let's do this. This is the interior. So yeah, you see the heads-up display coming out there at the front.
So let's start. I think we're just electric drive now.
Here, if you now press the eDrive button, you can keep going. You can do this while driving. If you press it, the standard mode is auto e-drive, so there the engine basically decides, the car decides whether to use the electric motor or the petrol or both. And if you say, no, I just want to drive electric, you put it into max e-drive. So now we're in like electric only mode. And the third mode is save battery, and this means hold the battery status and save the battery for later. For example, if you go in the motorway or you drive on a fast road and you want to use the electric battery for later. But I think for now the best mode is auto e-drive.
So, and since it's an electric car, and we heard that electric cars have great acceleration, I think it's time to have an only electric drive acceleration test. So we have a straightforward, just like 200 meters roundabout. So let's see. If you're just an electric drive, you put the car in electric drive only.
Okay.
Max electric drive, and see what happens when we floor it.
Okay.
So it takes some time at the beginning, but this was just electric drive, and it gets you going in just like 100 meters. We were at least at 40 kilometers per hour. So let's do the same thing, just with both engines on, and see what the change is. So,
alright, so
same track.
You have to change the mode to auto e-drive. Or put it in sport actually if you want.
So we put it in auto e-drive and sport, I guess. Or is it
Yeah,
different?
if you put it in sport, see the engine goes on in sport. You see now the ref counter is at 1000. And
Now.
if we go back, you see here the engine is running and the battery is there. So when you floor it, then you will see that both powertrains.
So now it's extreme.
Let's do one on the reverse. This does actually sound a bit like the i8. I'm not kidding, because you got the 3-cylinder sound.
So again, we're 0, and we floor it. Unfortunately, the street is too short.
Okay, let's go on the main road, huh?
So let's take it on the main road, yes.
What I like about the car is that you really got sort of two cars in one. If you want it to be quiet and you want to just cruise, you put it in electric mode and then you just, you know, enjoy your silence. And if we just did it now, like in sport mode, it's actually a bit of a beast. So on the screen you see e-power. We're now driving in the electric mode. Energy flowing out of the battery, and when you take off the foot from the pedal, it recuperates. So we've got 50% battery left.
You didn't hear a word.
So we're now on an A road, flooring it. We see here that the 3-cylinder engine is now supporting the drive, charging the battery and also providing torque on the front wheels. So this is actually a great car in the winter, in the snow, because you got the all-wheel drive, you know. You got the traction on the rear wheels and the front wheels. And it's all done by software, that's the cool thing. And now we are actually recharging the battery, which is down on 46%. And in a few minutes we'll probably have like 55 again, if we continue like this. This car requires a bit of, let's say, thinking from the driver. It's like, I got this reservoir of electrical energy. When am I going to use it? You know, when is the best time to use it? I can just let the car decide, or I can actually sort of switch the modes. The car actually uses intelligent energy management to notice when you're driving in the city to use electric power, and when you're driving on the motorway to use petrol power. So the navigation system actually tells the car how you're going to use your energy on the route.
I told you too many times, it's the little things that count, which can make someone feel special.
Great car so far, great acceleration. Best of both worlds, you actually have when needed, the electric drive. You can go up to 40 kilometers and realistically 30 kilometers, just electric. And just over the weekend, just switch on the engine mode and you can go down to Munich or out in the Alps to go do some skiing.
You still have 600 kilometers range. So So even if you don't charge it, you don't have to worry. It doesn't really make sense not to charge it, but you don't have to.
But it's a typical standard BMW drive, so no compromises in driving experience. It's quite good around the corners, acceleration is perfect, and the interior, of course, well designed, good materials. Just overall a really nice car.
So the car is obviously quite a bit heavier than the i3 because it's not made from carbon fiber and it's not purpose built to be pure electric. So this weighs 1.7 tons and the i3 weighs 1.2 tons. But the 0 to 100 acceleration, this car is actually quicker. It's got 6.7 seconds to 100 and the i3's got 7.2 seconds to 100. But as we said in the i3 video, that the i3 is the quickest car from 0 to 30 in the whole BMW range. What's I think is great about it is like you have the all-day versatility of the long range and the electric driving, and the price is absolutely a killer. The cash price is 38,000, so that's not really that cheap, but the BMW lease rates that they give right now are very competitive. So you can lease this car from circa 250 euros a month in the base version, and 350 a month if you go all in with the navigation, with the leather seats, with the driving assists and the big rims and everything. So 350 euros for a BMW. I'm not sure which other BMW you can get for that price. Nice thing with the plug-in hybrids from BMW is that you always get the big navigation included, because they need this to display the power flows and also the charging stations on the map and the traffic. Well, looking for charging stations because we're kind of soon running out of charge. So here we go into vehicle charging stations, and then it pulls it out of the connected drive backend, and we should get some suggestions where to charge. Yeah, oh, Aldi, that's exactly where I was going to go. So Aldi in 2.6 kilometers. We even see real-time status, it's green, so there should be some space, and I'm gonna do my shopping and charge the car in the meantime, because we now have only 30% left. We've done 30 kilometers and we've got 30% left. So that's actually pretty good. So we just parked. David has finished his test drive, and what do you think?
First experience in. Great car.
Honest opinion?
Honest opinion, great car. It sometimes is a little heavy. I guess that's just the extra capacity of battery that you can feel in like really sharp corners. But acceleration is great. Perfect utilization of space economically with the electric engine, and some fun with the just standard engine in front. When you need it, there's a lot of force to get around.
Nice sound as
well. Great car and a nice sound.
So yeah, thanks David for joining us, and
you're welcome.
Looking forward to the next review with you. So the interior of the car is quite nice finish, high quality. We've got the leather seats, the memory seats here. We can change the seat all electric. That's a standard feature. The cockpit here in the 2 Series is the new UKL BMW standard cockpit. You see it's a slightly different console with some nice storage space in the middle. To connect the phone, we've connected our lightning cable here, and we just plug in the phone. You've got the gear selector and you've got the iDrive. So this is pretty much familiar from other BMWs, but it's a nice iteration, and it's a cockpit BMW drivers will feel immediately familiar with. Having a look at the rear seats, we've got a bit of stuff lying around here, but you've got these nice tables for the kids, you know, like in a plane. You can put some stuff here, you can play with your iPad. It's a bit plasticky, a bit flimsy, but there we go. And you've got nice 3-seat row, and I think this is nicer than the 1 Series or the 3 Series, to be honest. If you got a pair of skis, what's cool is you just pull the strap, there you go, and you can put the skis through the middle. This is the 40-40-20 separation. And for the main seats, you pull the strap, and you've got a pretty nice big luggage space. So you see, when you take this out as well, you actually have a lot of space to put in a bicycle or something. That's something BMW put a lot of attention on. Alrighty, so we've driven now 55 kilometers with the 2 Series Active Tourer plug-in hybrid, the 225xe. And here's a sort of like summary what we've experienced so far. The drive is perfect, the switch between engine and electric motor works very well. The power is fantastic, like the acceleration is very rapid, the sound of the engine is good, and the electric driving in the city is very nice as well. The general impression is that this is a normal BMW which has the electric motor in addition, and you can sort of like play with that, and you've got that as an additional feature. Compared to the i3, you notice that it's less rapid. It's obviously not built from carbon fiber, it's not lightweight. And so the acceleration isn't quite as quick, and it feels more like a normal car, and it doesn't have that all-electric sort of styling of the i3. One thing that is quite annoying is the recharging, because the battery capacity is only 7.8 kilowatt hours. So you kind of deplete the charge really quickly, and then you need to think about recharging already after like 15 kilometers, and you see, okay, I got like 48% left. Where am I going to recharge? And you notice that the recharging in this car is quite slow. You know, you only get 3.7 kilowatt. And you don't really gain that much range in half an hour. So unless you've got a charging station at home where you can plug it in, the charging is a bit annoying, a bit slow, you know. So that's much more fun in the Tesla on the i3, where you can sort of recharge a good amount of range in a short time on the DC charging stations. We would only really recommend this car if you've got a place where you can regularly recharge, because driving around finding a charging station isn't that much fun, at least here in Munich yet. So a good car, especially for those of you who commute, and people who want to get the first sort of foot in the door in terms of electric mobility, but not too much yet. Thank you very much for watching this 4th episode of ELECTRIQUE. If you need any advice or if you want to know more, then please get in touch with us. We're happy to consult and tell you what is the right electric car for you. And we'll be back soon with the Passat GTE next week. Alright guys.
I think you're always in two minds, and it's forever that way. I know what you're gonna say. I told you too many times, it's the little things that count, which can make someone feel special. I think you're always in two minds, and it's forever that way.
Il y a la station de recharge là, mais on n'a pas la câble.
Ah merde.
Parce qu'ils n'ont pas nous donné un câble. So they didn't give us the cable, so even though we've got the charging station here, we have to continue. But we can charge in sport mode, as we learned. Which is not what you should do. Don't do this at home, don't charge in sport mode. Be a good plug-in driver and charge only at home.